Welcome to an episode of Chad and Friends Beer Reviews. I got my friend Henry, who is a pretty big beer aficionado, or almost a connoisseur, or whatever you want to call it.
I certainly like beer. I don't claim to be an expert by any means, but I sure enjoy it.
Well, I think he probably knows more than I do, because there's this bar, Mahar's in Albany, which is like world renowned actually for craft beer, and like you're like a member there, and like every time you have a beer there, they put it on a list, and I'm up to like 7, and you're up to like 835 or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's a nice place.
How many years have you been going there?
Probably 4 years, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe longer, but typically get in there once a week and have 2 or 3 beers, and over time it builds up and you learn quite a bit about beer.
Yeah, we are reviewing the Shipyard Smash Pumpkin, which is okay. It's a little out of season now, but it's an imperial beer at 9% ABV, and so the alcohol is it'll keep for a little while. It's called Pugsley's Signature Series. There's a very long description on the back. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but what's interesting is that they make a note of saying to drink this at 55 degrees, which is actually very warm, especially for an imperial beer.
It reminds me more, in that sense, of a Belgian style. Many of the Belgian beers that are a slightly higher ABV are intended to be drank at a warmer temperature and often do have a little bit of spice to them.
I'm using a tulip glass, and Henry's using my Chimay Trappist glass. Oh, before we start, I gotta give a shout out to Jay, because this was actually a gift from Jay, who you met last week.
I did.
So thank you for the beer, Jay. It certainly looks like a pumpkin beer. It's got that orange color. It's very, very effervescent. I got a nice 2-finger head because I'm using the tulip glass. You got no. That's why I don't like the Trappist glass.
Well, I'm terrible at pouring beer too, so we're all handicapped in some way.
You do get that pumpkin smell. I kind of like
that's pleasant.
Yeah, it's like nutmeg and cinnamon. It smells stronger than the terrapin that Jay and I reviewed.
Now this has real pumpkin in it, as opposed to many sort of pumpkin pie beers that are just spice.
Yeah. All right, you want to dive in?
Let's do it.
Cheers. This does kind of remind me of the Southern Tier.
Oh, this is pleasing. I like the way it rolls on the tongue.
Yeah. It has it's like a soft mouthfeel, and you get like spice, but it's not tearing you up,
Function across the center and front of the tongue that I don't always experience with a lot of beers. But I also get just a little bit of bitterness.
Yeah.
It's actually quite nice. It complements the sweetness.
Yeah, I like that. It's like the spicy. It is kind of like the pumpkin pie kind of potpourri kind of taste that you get, like a pumpkin candle.
Sure, but it's not overpowering as it is in some other pumpkin beers.
Right.
Yeah, the alcohol content being where it is,
it's very well masked.
It keeps everything together remarkably well.
There's like a warming sensation as it goes down. It feels a little heavy in the mouth, but it's very smooth. Like you could just slug this down, which I have a tendency to do. So
definite Belgian character that it makes me happy.
Yeah, you can kind of taste the yeast in this. It has like that kind of powdery, kind of doughy kind of aftertaste. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get the doughy. Yeah, certainly. This is
like, and I've never had a Belgian pumpkin beer, so if such a thing existed, it'd probably taste like this.
Yeah, the way this hangs in the mouth, it's sort of, as the alcohol taste diminishes, it leaves that warm pumpkin sort of just dripping down the inside of your mouth.
It's like in the center of the tongue. It definitely lingers there.
I'm happily unspoiled in this review because I know almost nothing about this beer.
I didn't either.
Don't know any other reviews, but I'm going to give this a positive review. Although I will say, based on this short slice here,
right,
I'm not sure that I'd want to drink a large quantity of this.
This reminds me of the terrapin that Jay and I did, because it has like this kind of, kind of like an oily kind of taste, or like an after, like a residue.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
That's probably from the alcohol.
Oiliness to it. Yeah, it could be. Well, with the higher alcohol content, the profile of things that can be dissolved into the beer changes, and you can certainly get more.
It's changing already.
Fatty things pulled into it.
Yeah, I mean, this has warmed up like a good 5 degrees since we started reviewing it.
Yeah, this might actually be better a little bit warmer.
Yeah, and like they do make a point on the bottle of saying to drink at 55 degrees. Yeah, I like this a lot. I think, and it's funny. They say try adding a little Shipyard Bluefin Stout, and you can make your own kind of black and orange or whatever.
Yeah, half and half.
Yeah, which Jay did in his video, and be sure to check that one out. I'd be curious to see how it tastes like that. I think it's pretty good on its own. As like, I'm thinking this is like an after dinner kind of beer. I don't really like to drink, really ballsy beers like this with a meal.
Well, yeah. Maybe with chili though.
Yeah. I think they're more of a sipper. Take a little break, and we'll come back with our final thoughts.
Okay.
We're back finishing up with the Shipyard Smash Pumpkin. I really liked it a lot. Henry, you sound like you really liked it a lot.
I do. Maybe less than you, but I will say this. We started out a little bit colder than what they recommended.
Yeah,
I've been hand warming as I've been drinking. And as it's gotten warmer, it's definitely moved from a 7 to an 8 in my book. It's gotten a sort of graham crackery sweetness to it that's magical. To say the least, that's magic.
It has a lot of similarities to the 𝓕𝓻𝓻𝓿, but it's just like there's a kind of like a 𝗕𝗘𝗥𝓂 or whatever they call it that Southern Tier had that this beer doesn't, and not to slight the guys at Shipyard, because I think they made a really great beer here. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. I think it's an excellent beer. You're saying like 7, 8, like very good.
Well, look, when it was colder, it was definitely in the 7 zone.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit less. But once I got that warmed up, we're talking an 8.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't recommend it for mass drinking.
That's
kind of that's an 8 as a special treat.
Yeah.
Kind of like a piece of cake you don't want to have.
As far as the drinkability though, like whether it was cold or whether it was warm, it was really smooth and easy to go down. It's like I think like the average Joe 6-pack could probably get this down no problem.
They could. I mean, it might be a little sweet though for your sort of average guy. I mean, that being said, wine drinkers might appreciate this, both with the higher ABV and that sort of sweetness. This might hold appeal for wine drinkers who otherwise might not be huge beer fans. Yeah,
and it's not a heavy beer either, because there's certain beers like even like a lot of you can just drink like a lager which is only 4 or 5%, like it just feels like you drank like a keg, and this beer is. I wasn't drinking on an empty stomach or a full stomach, but like it's not weighing me down or anything. So I probably could have drank this whole bottle by myself, but just to be safe, it's always nice to have
you probably catch a
fellow
little buzz
beer.
On that whole bottle.
Yeah,
I could imagine.
It is making me thirsty though. So
yeah, the sweetness combined with the higher alcohol content definitely leaves you thirsty.
Yeah. So just to wrap up here. We both really liked Shipyard Smash Pumpkin a lot, and I think it actually, as we were saying during the break, it probably improved as it aged a little, which is why I think I like this a little bit more than Jay did. But who knows? So again, Jay, thanks for the beer, and that's a 9 out of 10 for me. And this is definitely going to be the last pumpkin beer for the season. And we'll start all over again next September or October or whatever. So thanks to Henry for coming out.
Hey, glad to be here, Chad.
Yep. And that does it for this review. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Don't forget to have an amount of it.
Bye.
somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.